Today, I'm going to share with you guys 4 different ways that you can market to get a bunch of phone calls for your local service type business.
Let's do this.
Welcome back to the Marketing Ninja Lab podcast with Coach Jorge and Ollie Rodriguez.
Welcome back to another podcast, guys. Today, we're going to talk about how to generate
Leads and phone calls
for your local service company.
What's a local service company, Coach?
So if you have a home service type of business, so for example, if you're a roofer, if you're a plumber, gutter cleaner, handyman, I wrote some of these down. Electrician, painters, carpet cleaners, your favorite.
Check out the previous episodes for Jorge's.
If you want to know the inside joke about cat urine and carpet cleaners, check out the other episode. No, but if you're a handyman, if you're a mover, any of those type of services that you're usually looking for your customers locally, right, in your city. That's what I mean by that.
In fact, I just had a plumber go to my house today.
And how'd you find him?
Well, you got to Google.
Exactly.
You got to Google. You got to hit the Google, and that's what we're going to talk about, like search engine, social media, Google, etc.
A little bit of everything, yeah. I wanted to share with you guys like 4 things that you can focus on to generate a ton of calls for your, service company or whatever. Let me share with them. The reason we did this episode, we're having a lot of success with a couple of our customers that are in this kind of industry. Mm-hmm. And so we said,
ton of success. It's incredible.
I mean, it's
incredible.
Crazy.
Like, I didn't know that we have companies that they're seasonal companies, HVAC, for example, exploding in every month. It's just fantastic. Anyway,
and they're not in Florida, which is all year long is pretty much summer here.
Yeah.
No, these guys are somewhere else where it's already cold, but they had a 100% increase year over year. So last November versus this November, 100% more than they did last year, which is absolutely crazy. So we figured we were going to share with you guys what we're doing as the agency for these clients and what you can do. You can do this for yourself, or of course, you can hire us.
Yeah, for sure. agmagency.com for a shameless plug here. Well, this podcast is brought to you by the AGM Agency. So that's a cool little ad right there in the back. For those of you watching on YouTube, we have a TV in the back, and that's the commercial. Okay, so 4 things. Break down number 1 for us, Coach.
Okay, so this is the most common, common sense, I guess, that you should be doing is Google search ads. Now, can you tell them what's the difference between Google ads and, let's say, Facebook ads?
Well, Google search ads are what is called intent to buy ads. That means somebody's saying they need a plumber like I did this morning, and they're going to go to Google and search, plumber near me. Whereas Facebook ads, they're kind of, you're trying to stay relevant enough to when you do need somebody,
We call them interest ads because you can't target people that are with the intent of looking for this type of service, but you can target people that are interested in a certain type of service or a certain type of product and things like that based on the behavior, patterns, the data that Facebook has collected on you and things like that. But yeah, I mean, you can't target people that are right now looking for this service. So it's very different, Facebook versus Google. And that's why the first thing you should go after is Google search ads.
Yeah, great for branding. Keep relevant, stay relevant, be the person known in that city as the go-to person for roofing, for plumbing, for electrical work, etc. However, Google search ads is what you want to, think with. Now, Coach, what do you think is like, break down the search ad for somebody who may not be so familiar with Google search ads. There's so many types of Google ads, shopping ads for people who sell products like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's not what we're talking about. What type of ad should be people concentrating on?
So when you go to Google, you're looking for a certain service, handyman, let's say, or tree, person that trims trees or whatever. So you type in your keywords, and the first thing that shows up at the very top, 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, usually if it's one of these kind of services, there's going to be an ad at the top. There's a little word that says ad right next to it.
On the left-hand side.
On the left-hand side, and that's how you can notice that it's a paid, ad. People are trying to pay to be the number one, the number one result on that page. So you can be that person if you are, if you have the budget and if you set it up with the right keywords, your ad can show up at the very top. So that's the first thing that people will see. And now you can type in a little headline there, a little, sub headline, add some more text to it. The cool thing is you can even add what they call extensions on there. So it'll have a little button that people can just click and then they call your business right away.
Yeah, one button on an iPhone, or whatever, Android, what searches right now are, I think, peaking at 90% mobile searches.
Yeah.
So having that little convenient button where it says call now, man, that's a steal of a deal.
Yeah, that's actually a good tip that I've seen other people not taking advantage of that, which is they send them right straight to the website. But
useless.
Yeah. I mean, on a mobile phone, like you got to make it the easiest way possible. And the easiest thing is just to add a call extension. And so people can just click the button and call your office right away.
Call now.
Now, here's the other thing that we see a lot. People that hire us all the time, we're running ads for them. We're generating a ton of leads, a ton of phone calls, and then they don't answer the phone.
Oh, yeah.
Or,
that's
okay, fine. You're busy, maybe, especially if you have maybe a 1, 2, 3 man operation, but return the phone calls at least.
We just had a dentist that said, turn off the ads. I get too many calls and too many leads, and I can't call these people back. So, yeah, you want to be... Someone's got to be answering the phone, and I think you have to leave your voicemails correctly set up, and then if nobody leaves a message, you do have to call these people back.
And it's actually pretty cheap to just hire a what do you call those?
Like a phone answering service?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
answering
absolutely.
service. You used to have that, right?
I used to have that in a previous business,
right?
And it was a service type industry.
Like, how much do they charge, or how does it work?
They weren't very expensive. I think it had to do with the minutes. Like, they're on the phone with a certain amount of minutes. So, but it's a 24-hour service. Is that the one I had? It was a 24-hour because we were in the also emergency side of things.
Right.
But definitely worth the price.
It's worth. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So if you're out there, you're doing the one fixing the stuff, make sure to get an answering service so you can answer these phones, because that person's going to call you. You don't answer, the likelihood of them calling you back is close to 0. And the likelihood of them leaving you a voicemail sometimes is also very close to 0. Yeah. So you just missed the lead right there. Yeah, and you paid for it.
Don't leave
messages. Yeah, most of them don't. I actually do. I kind of give them the benefit of the doubt just because I kind of I'm in this space. So if I'm looking for people, but man, it's such a hard thing sometimes just getting a hold of people to give me a quote. I want to give you money. Call me, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to move on to the next thing.
All right, number 2, I wish I had my drum roll sound effects, but we'll just go like this. Go for it, Coach.
I don't even know if you can hear that with this microphone. But number 2, this is a fairly new thing. It's been about maybe a year or so that they came out with it, but right now it's actually way more known, and that's still a Google product, and it's called Google Performance Max.
Break that down. What's the difference between a PMax, as we like to say, Performance Max campaign, and a regular search ad campaign? What's the difference? They're both Google products. What's the difference?
It's a huge difference. It's a different style of campaign that actually combines all kinds of Google things. So it'll Google placements, I should say, not things, but all these different type of Google placements. So it'll show your ads in Gmail, on YouTube, inside the videos, and then outside too. Display type of ads, which, like, if you ever search on websites, you know how like sometimes advertisers follow you around to different websites and things like that. Those are called display ads. It'll also show your ads in search. We were just talking about that, and even inside the Google Maps themselves.
Interesting. So, like, if I put pizzas in whatever New York City, downtown New York City, the maps tend to show up first, right after the sponsored stuff.
Yep.
The maps, and then you can buy a placement in those maps.
Well, yes, with this campaign, it actually does everything for you. So all these different placements are part of the campaign. You can't really pick and choose where you want your ads to show up. Google will do its thing. It's kind of has this, AI component to it, let's say, and it starts to learn where your customers or where people are, searching for your stuff or how they should retarget them. Because for the most part, probably everybody will search, let's say, on Google, but then maybe they jump to YouTube and they're like kind of figuring out more information about your service and that kind of thing. And then maybe they're, I don't know, bouncing around different websites, but Google is kind of like following them around, and the campaign itself starts to learn. It's like, okay, if they start on search, I'm going to retarget them, let's say, on YouTube 3 times, 1 time on Gmail, and whatever they got to do to get you that conversion, which in this case, we're talking about generating leads for you guys. And that could be a phone call or it could be a lead on your website too.
Yeah, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Coach, but the reason why it makes it so unique, this whole following around, is that obviously Google owns YouTube, right? And so
Right.
it doesn't matter at this point whether you have an iPhone, an Android, or any of these privacy settings, because it realizes you search for apples on Google because it also owns YouTube, and because you have your own profile also on YouTube, it shares data. And so when you log into your YouTube account, even if it's on your phone or whatever, it knows it's you and it's going to feed you Apple videos.
Yeah, I mean, we were just mentioning at the beginning, like how much data Facebook has on you. These guys have 100 times more data than you. Google does. They read your emails. So it is what it is. But they have access to all your Gmail. They know everything you're searching for. So they even know when you're in the market for certain things.
Do you give permission, microphone permission?
Always. Every app you install, man, they always ask for a microphone. It's funny when people, because we're in the industry, right? So we know that happens. But all the time we get people like, oh, my God, I was just talking about cameras, and then all of a sudden I'm getting a bunch of camera ads or whatever, right? And it's like they're reading your text messages, they have the microphones on, listening for certain keywords. It's absolutely crazy. But here's another cool thing you can do with these campaigns. I'll just go through it. You can feed it 20 images, 5 different logos, 5 different videos, and 5 different headlines.
Is that your logos, your videos?
Yeah.
And
I mean, whatever you want to upload to it, but yes, obviously you should be uploading your company logos.
And this is the stuff you want to promote?
Yeah. Anything you want to promote. Let's say that you have 5 videos and
of carpet cleaning, of like you doing the carpet cleaning.
Yeah, maybe one is a testimonial, maybe one's a how-to, maybe one's a whatever, straight up offer type video, like whatever you want to do. It's just 5 different videos. And this Performance Max or PMax campaign, it will basically mix and match and test and split test and do its magic. And here's the only downfall that I see to it is that it takes 2 to 6 weeks for the whole thing to really learn. So you got to be, paying for it, and you might not see the results you want right away in the first 2 weeks. But
what about I'm
telling you, they work.
What about the pricing on these 2 to 3 weeks? Like, how much do you got to spend in those 2 to 3 weeks?
I always get that question, but it really depends. Like, how fast do you want to get there? The more data it has, the faster it learns.
If I spend more, can I reduce that 2 to 3 week window or no?
Yeah, pretty much, because the more money you give it, the more impressions it can get. The more impressions it gets, the more it finds out faster what it needs to do. So, but let's just say, I would say maybe $20-$50 on the minimum every day is what you should be spending. And again, just kind of budget in that maybe for the first 2 weeks, it's not necessarily going to be what you're looking for, but then after that, it starts to learn and get way better.
Yeah.
So
think with that, $1,500, $2,000.
Yeah.
Once it learns, you could probably adjust that budget, but this is where having these offers come in, guys. Before we go to number 3, it's really important. You can figure out a way to make your money back. You cannot go just if you go with like if you're a plumber or something, there's got to be a way that an offer that you could sell that will make your investment worth it, right? So it's something that you want to think with that. The carpet cleaner said, "Hey, I see some stains here. We have this stain package, this like stain removing package. It's not even guaranteed, but it's like there's another $50, and it's like, oh, I see you have you need the fast dry, or your rugs, or I see you have stains on your couch. Man, by the time the guy leaves, he's already racked up a triple of the bill, right? Because he adds the rugs that are in the living room, the couches, the stain removers. So you gotta be smart with that and structure your offer that way.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, number three.
Number three is actually little known Google type of campaign. Maybe not a campaign. It's a type of product, let's say, that they offer especially for local service type companies. And it's called, surprise, surprise, Google Local Service Ads.
So this is only for service companies, Coach, right? So it's like your tree guys, your tree removal guys, your roofers, your plumbers, your electrician. It's not for like a dentist, is it? Or
not for a dentist.
Okay.
But there is a couple of extra ones that are not home related. So let's see. They have like lawyers. They have yoga people.
Okay.
They have a whole bunch of stuff like that are not necessarily home service related.
Yeah.
But for the most part, they are not for the all part. They are local service type companies that are only looking for customers locally. Yep.
The whole near me.
Yeah, near me, in the city, that city, that kind of stuff.
Okay, cool. And break down what a Google local service ad is, what it costs, how does it work?
Okay, so these are really, really cool. They're one of my favorite ones to first set up for any new kind of customer that gets started with us in the local service space. And what it is basically they're ads that Google will add a Google Guarantee badge, and they place the ad at the very top above anything else, above the search, above the maps, above everything. That kind of ad shows up above everything. Now, you do have to qualify for these kind of ads.
What do you got to do to qualify?
So you got to get a background check.
Interesting.
Of all your employees that work there.
Interesting.
I know. When I saw that, I was like, damn, that's kind of, I don't know what the word, but
something that is interesting is that it's not a very for some people it'd be uncommon, but for other people, for example, there is companies like Lowe's and Home Depots and stuff that they'll hire contractors to do installations, and they'll feed you tons of work nonstop, but all your guys have to be background checked.
All of them, right?
Yeah. Because if they let somebody in the household, there's some sort of, I guess, liability. Anyway, so
they gotta be background checked, and you got to submit your insurance license.
Yeah, okay.
Business insurance license or whatever, and your business license. Like they got to make sure that you're legit, basically.
Workers' comp.
They don't say anything about that. Just license, insurance, and background checks.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
So they just got to make sure you're a legit company. You're not like some, Joe off the street just saying, "Yeah, I'm a handyman. Hire me." Whatever.
Yeah.
Although those are the best. They get a good deal on those.
They need to get on at least the number 4, which we'll talk about here.
That's right. We got one more.
Little mystery. Spend. How much you think you got to spend on these search ads?
So you give it a budget. You can say as little as like $100 a month or $5,000 a month, whatever. Now, it won't spend all of your budget if it doesn't find you leads. So the way it works is if anybody clicks to call you, or if anybody fills out your form, and that's considered a lead. Now, you only pay when they do that. Like versus like search ads, how you pay per click, whether it turns into anything or not. But these only when they're a legit lead, then you pay for it.
Well, now I heard something about a refund, like that Google will refund you if it's a tire kicker or what? Like if it's not a real lead?
Yeah, let's say somebody's looking for a
a dog grooming place.
Grooming place, right? And you happen to only do cat grooming.
Okay.
Something like that. So the lead is not like legit, right? So you can actually dispute that directly with Google and just say this guy wasn't qualified. He's looking for a different service that I didn't, check off on here that I offer. And then they credit you back. So you don't have to actually pay for that.
That's crazy because if you think about it like a commercial on television or traditional media ad on the radio, somebody calls and it's like, hey, I need my dog groomed. It's like, sorry, we only do cats here. It's like, you ain't getting your money back on that ad.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the same thing with Google, like the search ads, right? If they click on it, that's how you pay. That's how you spend the money there. So So I like this one for that reason. Google Local Service Ads is what it's called. If you need help setting that up, give us a call. It's very easy, but you do have to know what you're doing, so we can help you with that. All right, we got one more for you guys, and number 4.
This one's your favorite. It seems to be one of your favorites.
It is one of my
search
favorites.
ads is
Well, yeah,
local search ads is probably your favorite, but then number 4, it seems to be like
it seems to be on every podcast, and there's a reason, because there's so much opportunity right now in it that you guys need to jump in on this, and it's TikTok.
Now wait a minute. Now how's that gonna get me local search traffic?
Local search traffic, right? Because that's what we're talking about, guys, for you that are just joining over here on the live. So there's plenty of examples. You can just jump on TikTok yourself if you want to search and type in your keywords, and you're going to find some of these companies that you're not necessarily like prospecting. You're just trying to get attention for your company. So let's say there's a company that we know who does cooling here locally, heating and cooling or whatever. And all the guy does is lately he's been doing like videos to show off. Oh, look at my inventory of equipment. Oh, here's these staff members. Like, it's not like he's dancing around doing TikToks or anything like that. 'Cause that's another thing that people think you got to do. That's over.
Yeah,
that's over. All you got to do is do some short little videos, just kind of show off your company and what you do. Now, here's to answer your question. Every time you upload a video, you can geo tag it, or kind of like check in as you do on Instagram and Facebook or whatever. Basically, you just type in your address or your city at least. And this is a way that TikTok starts to learn that you're based in that city. And when other people in that city are using TikTok, they might get seen, or they might get shown your videos just because of that.
Yeah, I think there is. With TikTok, you want to start off your video with whatever your product or service is composed of, so to speak. Why? Because the first the robot picks up a TikTok robot picks up the audio file, and that first, I think it was 15 seconds from what we studied, was documented. And so you want to use hashtags, geotagging, as Coach says. You want to use the keywords in your what do you call it? Like description. Sorry. And you want to start off your video with some of those related keywords. It's a very SEO friendly, or maybe not friendly, but an SEO. It thinks with it. What would be the word with it? Like, it takes into consideration. It uses this concept.
It's definitely checking for all that stuff, because it wants to help rank. Because actually, it is another trend. Instead of going to Google, now people are going to TikTok to search for things they want to do or things that are local to them.
Which we talked about in a previous episode, where this is happening more and more. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a Gen Z thing. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just culture shifts. Obviously TikTok is new, but the point is that people are gravitating towards the search engine through video content, which is really great, because they want to, it's like the website or your business card is now your social profile.
Yep.
Like, that's what people are using to determine your,
credibility. Or
if the person posts content all the time, there's some sort of connotation to that you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's like a trust factor.
It's very interesting. It's like, oh, that guy posts so much content every single day. He's not going anywhere. What does that have to do with anything, right? Yeah. But it's like, it happens. That's the mentality.
Yeah, yep. So do not sleep on TikTok. You got to jump in there. Some people still don't like it because of the news that, China is like hacking everybody's phone or whatever they say. I don't know.
Yeah, there's always a new, or sometimes they just bring it back. They brought it back. This it's going away fear again.
Yeah, it's like
but
this
take
fear.
Advantage of it while it's still here. Grow your
make
business.
some money while China's listening in, I guess. And no, I mean, I don't know. Some people are really like emotional about that or whatever. We just take advantage of whatever's working right now to grow our businesses, to survive and do better every year and keep growing And that's what we suggest for you. So if you don't want to do TikTok, that's fine. You can just jump into, Reels, let's say, or YouTube and things like that. But I guess number 4, we can generalize it as organic content, organic posting on any of your favorite social media accounts, and just, let people know what it's like to, have like a behind the scenes look into your business, into your employees, into your process, into your, quality checks, into like all that sort of stuff. And like you said, they will check your social media, and they want to know that, like, what do you do when you're going to show up to my house? Document all that and just put it on social media. And people love to see that.
Yeah, 100% agree. All right, guys. So roll with that this week. Try it out. Get some more local search ads. If you're in that industry, let us know how it goes. And subscribe to the podcast.
Yep, I was just gonna say, if you're listening on Spotify, there's a cool feature there. You can leave us a you can leave us a question or a comment or anything like that, and maybe we'll bring it up on the next episode. Let us know what you guys want us to cover. Want us to cover. What other episodes or what other stuff you guys want us to cover.
All right, guys.
All right,
see you on the next one.
Later, guys.